The movie starts with James Bond walking like he needs a shit, but also walking like he's trying to hide it. Then M is like, right, we're doing a training exercise in Gibraltar. Where the fuck's Gibraltar? It's 1987. There's no Google Maps, so there's literally no way to answer that. Anyway, this dumb fuck gets caught immediately because his parachute got stuck in a tree. Britain's finest. And then this guy's like, got you. Then Bond overhears the commotion, so he goes to investigate. And so he jumps onto this truck to get away from that scary Gibraltar goblin. But wouldn't you know it, that's the truck with the terrorist in it. Oh, but you know, surely James Bond has a gadget to get him out of this jam. Nah, he's just gonna stab him a bunch of times. Then they drive off a cliff, and while the truck is hurtling through the air and on fire and exploding, Bond is like, I've had enough of this now. I think I'm just gonna wriggle to safety. Meanwhile, this millionaire yacht lady is like, oh, I'm so bored. Apart from the occasional sky truck explosion, nothing ever happens in Gibraltar. Hello, yeah, it's JB. Yeah, the boys are all dead as fuck. Yeah, I'll tell you all about it as soon as I'm done shagging this woman I've known for 15 seconds. Anyway, later, Bond is on a mission at an opera, and he's an alcoholic in his 30s, so he's bored shitless. And this guy's like, the target's sat over there, but don't make it too obvious, though. Nah, don't worry, I won't. But he gets bored of that, so instead of spying for England, he starts spying for pussy. And his mate's like, how have you not been fired yet? But he's not listening. So they go to this cramped apartment, and Bond turns his tux into a Morpheus outfit, and it turns out they have to protect this guy because he's defecting. And they spot a sniper that's about to shoot him, but Bond's like, I can't shoot her, I haven't dipped her yet. And this guy's like, how are we gonna get out of Russia? Oh, don't worry, we've got a pipeline to the west. Is that a metaphor? I'm James fucking Bond. I don't know who Metatron is. Now get in the fucking pipe missile. And this thick, raw-boned woman helps him because he's been keeping that ass on retainer. Anyway, whatever. They get him out of the country. And this guy is like, why didn't you kill that sniper? Why don't you shut the fuck up? Fast forward and Bond's having a zoogie at work. And it's Tuesday morning. And he just can't be arsed being there. So he passes the time with a bit of workplace sexual harassment. It was a different time. Meanwhile, this guy straight up 47's the milkman while Bond is on his way to meet M and the Russian general he smuggled out of Russia. And then Bond leaves, and then he 47's some more guys, and then he throws some milk grenades, and then they make a flawless escape in this helicopter. And M is like, right, you know the drill, go snatch that general back again. What if they just snatch him back from us again? Well, then we'll just snatch him right back again. Can't somebody else do it? I already snatched him once. Yeah, that's fair enough. Got to Tangier and kill this guy instead. Alright, what did he do? He was giving it big licks, wasn't he? No, thank you. I need some things that look like other things, please. There you go. Car keys that spray knockout gas. You just gotta whistle. Just don't do that on the motorway. That's a bit shit. You gave me a spoon watch last time. Oh, well, it's a bomb as well. You just got a wolf whistle.
You mean,
Everything's a game with this wanker. Anyway, fuck off. I didn't get back to work on my couch that eats people. Meanwhile, Bond uses MI6 resources to stalk that lady he thought were a bit fit. The money penny is like, oh, she's doing a concert next week. And Bond is like, how did you figure that out? By staring at the printer. So he becomes obsessed with her and just starts following her around. And, well, this isn't sexy at all, it's just concerning. He's got no spy reason for doing this. I mean, M specifically told him to follow this overweight man around and then kill him, and he's not doing it. And this whole stalkathon goes on for a while, too long. No KGB guys try to get him, or sexy women try to trick him. Just James Bond watching this woman on this tram. Yeah. Anyway, thank Christ, this cop takes her off the tram. But it'll take more than deep state policemen to stop Bond's questionable flight of fancy. Then he's like, oh look, is that guy I'm meant to be killing? I guess I have to follow her now. So he finds her address in the cello box and just lets himself right in. You know he means business because he's wearing a leather jacket with the collar popped. And she's like, who the fuck are you? Allow me to answer that question with an answer. I'm Bond James Bond. Oh, hello Bond James Bond. Anyway, don't waste any time. And then she's like, oh, I need to go back for my cello. And Bond is like, you will literally be thrown in a gulag forever if you're caught. But she goes on and on about this fucking cello. So eventually he's just like, fine, for fuck's sake. So she gets the cello back and then she starts smashing the out of his Aston Martin with it. And I'm thinking what he's thinking at this point. This bullshit ain't worth it, JB. Anyway, he gets on the motorway and he blasts some Zeppelin and she's like, I don't like this music. Well, what do you fucking like? But then the cops are onto him and he'll never outrun that mustard car made of tin in his Aston Martin, so he chops them up with a laser instead. And they didn't see the laser, so the only logical conclusion to be drawn is they're after a man with X-Men powers. Anyway, he wastes a few more cops and that gets his wanted level up, so now the army are after him and he's like, quick, find me a paint spray. Anyway, he totals the Aston Martin and he resists his first instinct of putting her unconscious body in the driver's seat, and then he toboggans down this mountain in a cello case, and yeah, this is his chosen mode of transport. Now he just toboggans all the way to Austria. Anyway, Bond hitches a ride on this turnip wagon, cause sliding about everywhere in that cello case has given him a hemorrhoid the size of a snooker ball. So he checks into this swanky hotel and he's like, vodka martini, shaken not stirred. This clearly isn't the bar, sir. False. Anywhere with oxygen is the bar to me. Then she drags him to another boring fucking opera, but he's had like 10 cans before this one, so he's got a light James Bond buzz, so he just grins like the pissed up knobhead that he is. So he goes on a secret roller coaster mission on Her Majesty's dime. I'm really glad this is what taxis are used for. Anyway, he has a secret agent meeting with his pal at KFC, but the sliding door is apparently operated by a car motor with enough force to crush a grown man. I've never seen one of these, but apparently they exist. And after his mate gets killed, Bond is like, oh look, a balloon, better go shoot the first balloon salesman I see in the head. But then he realises that lead's not as rock solid as he thought, being that he's at a fun fair. Anyway, he's finally off to Tangier now to start shooting guys, and he spots the guy and he figures he'll just do him at the traffic lights, but he gets green lights all the way, so yeah, the plan don't work. So he sneaks into his hotel room and he's like, we're there, and this guy's like, I didn't kill your friend with that door, but he uses his watch to call the guard in, but Bond uses this woman's titties to distract him, but he decides to let him go, but then he changes his mind. And he makes a run for it, and then this old woman nearly kicks the fuck out of him. And the cops have him cornered, but these sexy ladies have had a sniff of him, so he gets away. But these women take it with this loser claiming to be Felix, but I'm not fucking calling him that. Anyway, that guy's not really dead, but these guys think he is. And then Bond slams this vodka martini like it's milk, and then he has another, and another, and another. And woman mad at James Bond for some bullshit, but we all know how this goes. This is when he makes his move and starts undressing. Oh dear. Oh, I don't like this at all. But he's drunk enough in the last 12 hours to give an elephant a brain aneurysm. So yeah, he pulls out his gun, mutters some nonsense about how he met Eric Cantona once, and then he falls asleep fully clothed on this hardwood floor. Pretty standard James Bond shit. Then they kidnap Bond and put him on this plane, and there's a pig's heart in this box surrounded by diamonds. I don't know why that's there. I've clearly missed something. Anyway, they're gonna turn Bond over to the Russian authorities for a murder he didn't do. Or maybe he did do it. He lives to extinguish human souls. And they throw Bondo-san into the clink, but he tricks these guys into whistling into his car keys. Totally believable. So they run aimlessly into the desert, but then they get caught immediately. But then these guys are like, do you want some horses? Anyway, they give Bond a silk-draped room to bang this woman in, and then the next day they all go back to kill these Russians. So Bond plants a sneaky device on this plane, but it's been like a whole day since he's taken a human life, so the thirst is upon him. And Bond steals the plane that he just planted a time bomb on, but the milkman from earlier manages to get on the plane, so they have a sexy James Bond fight off the back of the plane while the time bomb is ticking. But then Bond is like, oh, don't worry, I killed his ass. So he goes back to kill this arms dealer. But like all men, James Bond is weak against the corners of knee-height furniture. And he manages to grab a space gun, but he kills him with the Duke of Wellington. And then they send the general guy back to Russia. And this guy is like, oh, we're going to have to send that blonde lady to Russian jail too, because she's a defector as well. And Bond is like, I don't have a fucking clue who you're talking about, mate.